Shalom. My name is Efrat Braun Harleb. I'm the CEO of Sנייder Children's Medical Center of Israel and a pediatric intensive care physician. I'm also a mother of 4 boys. On October 7th, less than a year ago, our lives changed. By 7 o'clock in the morning, I was already at the hospital, under alarms, getting ready to move about 200 children hospitalized at Shneider's to sheltered areas. Children who come from throughout Israel and outside of Israel to receive the best medical care we can give. Since the opening of our hospital 32 years ago, we have a mission, and that is to treat children, any children, because children are above and beyond everything, above and beyond religions, cultures, genders, and nationality. Children are above and beyond, and children are our future. So on that morning, we were all in a hurry to get all of them and their parents to a safer area at the hospital and to be prepared to receive injured children. After a few hours, even a little more, I understood that we were not going to receive any children. I understood that few dozen of children that were wounded were treated in the southern hospitals, but I also understood that many children of all ages, babies, toddlers, children, were butchered in their houses, butchered, shot, burned, choked, butchered. Then it took another day or two to understand that not only adults were kidnapped. Out of the 253, 38 were children. The youngest, Kfir Bibas, still now in Gaza, was then only 8 months old. From the minute that we understood that there are children kidnapped, we took a decision to prepare for their return to Israel, return home. We are a very high-leveled, state-of-the-art pediatric hospital. We have all the needed knowledge of how to treat children in extreme situations, but we never imagined and never thought that we will have to prepare to treat 3, 4, 5, 8, or 14 years old children that come back from captivity. We searched for literature, for some previous knowledge, but none was found. We created new protocols that we knew would have to be very flexible and changeable when we see, hear, or examine the children once they return. It took 50 days and more. 50 days in which young children were kept in captivity, kept in complete silence. They were not allowed to cry, not allowed to laugh, not even allowed to stand up. They hardly ate, kept every bite of bread, moved from place to place in the middle of the night, horrified. When they arrived, they did not look like children. They looked like shadows of children. No impressions on their faces. They were not happy. They were not crying. They were mostly very, very silent. Questions like, are we allowed to look out the window? May I step out of bed? Are we safe here? Were repeatedly asked. One girl, Gali, 14 years old, who was kept almost alone for most of the time in Gaza, was told by the terrorists that were holding her that there is no more Israel, that nobody is looking for her anymore, that nobody loves her. 14 years old. Sharon Cunio was kidnapped with her husband David, that is still now in Gaza. They were kidnapped with their 3 years old twin girls, Emma and Yuli. One of them was taken away from them for 2 weeks, a 3-year-old girl on her own in Gaza. Only after 2 weeks, while she was burning with fever, she was reunited with her parents in captivity. When they returned, skinny, scared, silent, it took them 2 days to get out of the rooms. Now, we are already 9 months after their return, definitely not back to their normal lives, still waking up terrified in the middle of the night, still talking about their terrible memories, and still waiting for their father, David. We received at Sנייder 19 children 6 mothers and 1 grandmother that were all in captivity. All of these children underwent unimaginable, horrific events when their closest relatives being murdered or taken with them to captivity. Children are innocent bystanders of any war. Sadly, children are known to be unintentionally hurt in many wars as innocent bystanders. This should always be avoided. It should never happen. But unintentional is very different than intentional. I simply cannot understand, cannot bear the thought that someone, a man, a woman, anyone, could intentionally murder and capture children, lock them, torture them, physically and mentally, on purpose, intentionally. I'm here today as an Israeli pediatric physician and head of one of the leading pediatric centers in the world to tell you no child should ever go through what the children and civilians of Israel have gone through on October 7th. I need you to hear it, to understand it, and to help us bring back the children that have not yet returned, and to bring back all that are held in captivity back to their families in Israel. I need you to help all of us make sure that never again such intentional atrocities happen to children. Am Yisrael Chai, and thank you again very much for this opportunity.